Our next speaker is a daily national radio host with Holy Faith Media on 20 channels across YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, Twitch, and D-Live. He also hosts a weekly show called Paleo Cheese, is resident political analyst for Meaning of Catholic, hosts Paleocrat Diaries. This is all above my head. I don't even know. We're going to learn a lot, aren't we? So I'd like you to please give a loud welcome for this man who is fighting on the media front lines, Jeremiah Bannister. Come on. I want to hear you howl, Michigan. We are the heart of the MAGA movement. Donald Trump, he knows. That's why he showed up to Grand Rapids in 2016 and again in 2020, because he knows that we are the heart of this movement. All right. Now here's the deal. I was asked, he said, hey, you want to speak here? And I said, yeah. He said, what do you want to talk about? And I said, I want to talk about people being hopeful and optimistic. But I got to be honest, guys. I got to be honest with you. In order to do this, we're going to have to go down memory lane. And I think, knowing that you support Donald Trump, you've got a good memory. You ain't going to forget any of these things. We've been lied to for a long time, haven't we? Yeah! These people, my whole life, I'm 42 years old. 42 years young. I feel good. Yeah! Right? Do you feel good? Yeah! Donald Trump makes us feel good, doesn't he? Yeah! He's like, I watch him and I'm like, he's younger than I am. I know they say he's in his 70s. I think they're lying to us. I think he's like 30. Gosh, man, how does he do that? He's Rambo, like that flag. Here's the thing. Oh, sweet. I remember. I'll just go through my lifetime. If you remember these things, you let us know. I remember when tolerance, diversity, and multiculturalism first started coming around. Bullshit. Yeah, that's right, exactly. Tolerance. Except for us. They wanted us to tolerate everything under the sun. And it sounded good. And we were very scared, in fact. We said, oh, we know what you're about. You ain't nothing new. There's nothing new under the sun. It's going to come at us. Oh, no, 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 no. We'd never do that, would we? Look at us now. They call us deplorables. Do you wear that on your sleeve, by the way? Because I do. Who's a deplorable in this crowd? I said it again. Who's a deplorable in this crowd? Diversity. It's a caricature in a cartoon. Right. They sit there and they've divided everybody up into their race. They've broken us down to be divided as if our interests are not purely American. They put hyphens in front of everybody, imagining that we've forgotten, but we have not. Because we were taught a long time ago. How many of you were taught as kids? Red and yellow, black and white. We are precious in His sight. Amen. Yeah, exactly. You know. My grandma taught me that one. They can push it all day long. They can sit there all day long and shove it down our throats, but the truth is, I will never forget what it feels like to be on a porch swing with my grandma as she's singing me that song. And that formed me as a man. They pushed the idea of race over character and quality, over merit, sex and gender over merit. And it's gotten to the point, and we were worried. We said, if you change and play Mr. Potato Head with words, and by the way, no offense to Mr. Potato Head, But they're playing Mr. Potato Head with words, like silly putty. And now we're at a place where boys aren't boys and girls aren't girls.
Right.
Unless, of course, they want to bash on men and women of tradition. And then all of a sudden, magically, they pull it back out. It's convenient for them, isn't it? And it's a big, fat, freaking lie. They talked to us about multiculturalism. It was a New World Order plot. It was a globalist scheme. And they shoved it down our throat. They hated America first, and we knew it. They swore up and down, no, we don't. We don't want to tear down history. And now what are they doing? All across the country, schools across the country, they're taking out the names of Washington, Jefferson, Roosevelt, Abraham Lincoln. What's wrong with these people?
Communists!
Where do they think they are? Who do they think they're dealing with? They're dealing with MAGA country.
MAGA! Hang them high!
They wanted to consign us to the dustbin of history. Immigration. They told us, and remember even the GOP. Even the GOP after Romney lost, what did they do? They said, hey guys, you guys just have to realize what we need is open borders.
No!
Hey, look, they said so, right? All the rhinos told us.
No!
They said, oh, what you need is open borders. It's the only way that you are going to increase the margin of people from south of the border, Hispanics and Latinos, who would vote for the Republican Party. We were assured that. They went on all the news and let us know.
Liars!
Marriage. They thought that they could change it, and in changing it, it wouldn't do anything. But now we live in a day and age of people, you know, what's the one video? The guy says, oh, I got a Nintendo Switch from my wife's boyfriend. And I thought, man, bro, you're messed up. You're messed up. You need a big fat dose of MAGA. You need a big fat dose of the Lord. You need to take a knee for Jesus Christ. Now we're at the time of Desmond, the not so amazing, and I feel for him. Pray for that little guy, by the way. He's going into bars with adults that are putting money in his underwear, and he's a little kid. Just think about that for a second.
Queer!
We're in the day and age of cuties. How many of you have seen that pedo crap on Netflix?
Bullshit! Blah! Blah!
Do you remember the lie about abortion? They just wanted it legal and rare. That's all they wanted. And now what have we seen? We all knew this was true. We could see it from a bazillion miles away. But what do we see now? Oh, not only all the way up to the time that you're born, but now if you're born and you ain't dead, they don't care. They don't care. They want to kill it. That's right. They want to kill it.
Murder!
Because in the end, it's a death cult we're dealing with.
Death cult!
They're completely racist. Completely. They lie and lie and lie. We could go down the list. Jobs. Remember when they said those jobs ain't coming back?
Yep.
How many of you guys lost your jobs because of free trade agreements? I'm from Battle Creek originally. Battle Creek was busting at they were busting a move all over the place. Amazing jobs. Middle class America. And I watched it decline. I watched jobs bleed out of that bugger. Remember Ross Perot?
Sucking sound!
Giant sucking sound. How many of you heard that giant sucking sound as all the globalists assured us it's okay that your job is going overseas?
Liars!
They lied. War. How many of you have been sent to war? How many of you know people who've been sent to war? And they assured us we needed to go there. We needed to go there. It was in our interest to go there. And we'd only be there for a little while. How long has it been? And eventually, remember ISIS? And by the way, I don't want to get too optimistic too soon. But the truth is, I had to say, do you remember ISIS? And why is that? I know somebody who kicked ISIS's ass.
Donald!
You could go down the line. with news, fake news. Every single day, the lies, lie upon lie upon lie upon lie, and they do it with a straight face. They're all mockingbirds. They just echo each other. It's all that they do. There's nothing that they can provide that's true.
Hang them high!
They're the enemy of the people, you know. I've heard it on good authority that that's true. But then, there was a guy that came down an escalator in New York. I remember that day. Where were you? I shall never forget that day. And I know you won't either, because the man that came down that escalator was saying things that had never been said before at that level. Never. He spoke like us. He wasn't corrupt. He was a man of principle, rough around the edges, and people complain about that. And I said, you know what? He's an icebreaker. Anyone who's familiar with the ocean, there's these massive sheets of ice, and sometimes you need this huge boat. This massive boat that is able to crack through those sheets of ice. It has to be hard. It has to be able to withstand some of the most brutal weather.
Right on, brother!
That is Donald Trump. That icebreaker makes it possible for the supply ships to make their way through, to nourish people, for economic boom and benefit. We are those ships. Our jobs and our talent and our skills, those are the supplies. And if Betty Crocker was looking for a recipe to make America great, she could start right here looking at all these people. But now, the end of it's this. Now, we're dealing with yet another lie. Election-gate. It's mega rigged. We all know it. Super duper crazy if you don't believe it. I got a text just a minute ago from somebody saying, there's no evidence of this. And they, yeah. They shared a Guardian article with me. I said, dude, the Guardian was sharing PP-gate. Do you not remember the Steele dossier? I said, you guys are nuts. You're nuts.
Liars!
They are. They're cuckoo crazy pants. Wearing horse blinders, man. And the thing is, they're trying to dishearten you. So to sum it all up, here's the hope. What do we do now?
Hang them high!
Here's what we do. Number one, and these are the mottos of my show. The mottos that my mission in my life. In fact, taught to me by my firstborn daughter. She died of brain cancer 4 years ago. And she left a mark on me that will forever animate everything that I do. She was a powerful girl. Superstar. It's an amazing story. You bet. Yes! Tiny Dancer, come on, son. Come on. Now here's the thing. Number one, you don't ever give up. These were her mottos. You never give up. Never.
Never!
They're going to come at you with everything they got and tell you that you don't see or hear what you've seen and heard. And you're going to keep whistling as you work. We have to make sure that we audit the daylights out of those ballots. Only legal ballots. That's it. Because we need law and order in the democratic dynamic of our great republic. Because it's what we are. Number two, in this process, we need to demand that the legislature get involved via the 12th Amendment.
Yeah!
They need to send electors. They need to realize exactly what's going on. And we need to remember a lesson from Little House on the Prairie. You remember that show?
Yeah!
Of course you do. That's good, wholesome American stuff. Little House on the Prairie, there was a storm that came in, wiped out the entire farm. Charles and all the men were super bummed out. And it took those women. And those women had an idea. They said, wait a second. The book of Ruth has a threshing floor. We need to go back to some old school techniques. We need to think outside the box and find our plan in the Bible. Because God's got a God's eye view. We need, number 2, keep on smiling. No matter what, you need to smile. You need to realize you are already victorious, no matter what happens. And the reason why is not only because you've got the truth burning inside of you, but because you serve the God of all history and mankind. And lastly, I gotta look at this clock. And lastly, I'm going to use a Latin phrase, memento mori. It means remember death. Why would I say that? Because if you remember your death and that you remember that you are mortal, number 1, it will make it so you don't play God with other people. That's the problem of the Democrats. You're not going to treat programs and policies as if you are a creator. It will keep you in your place as a creature, but also because you don't know when it's going to happen. You aren't assured another breath or another day. And so if you keep these things in mind, it will inspire within you the kind of resolve that says, I will give everything I've got, every single moment of every single day, to make sure that I honor God, that I love my family, and that I sacrifice for the greatest nation that has ever been on this planet. So I thank you all. Fight like hell, because we are going to make sure that Donald Trump is back in the White House for 4 more years.